blending the lecture with the active learning methods. And what I'm trying to do is to really create the best applied business administration program in Southern California, competing with USC or UCLA, where our sweet spot is that we have instructors with a lot of industry experience who really like teaching. We're not all about research where we have to teach a class. We actually enjoy teaching multiple classes and figuring out how to better prepare our students to work in today's competitive workplace. So in my classes, instead of 75 minutes of lecture a day, we might have 30 minutes of lecture one of the days and no lecture the next day, because we're taking an idea like how to ask interview questions legally, how to create a structured interview with behavioral-based questions or situational questions, and we're practicing that. So we practice asking legal questions one period. We follow that up a couple days later with behavioral-based and situational questions. And then this past Monday, we got about 80 of our students to volunteer to go out in the field to the Southern California Regional Occupational Center and volunteer 3 to 4 hours of their time helping first-time job seekers work on their interview skills. So our students were out in the field practicing at least 10 mock interviews for future welders, dental assistants, medical assistants, and they each got the opportunity to sit with an HR professional from one of the local societies, either the Society of Human Resource Management, Chamber of Commerce, who would then kind of coach them as a manager and say, this is what you did really well as an interviewer. This is maybe where you could improve. And one of the benefits of that approach is they're actually making contacts in the community where every year a few students come back to me at the end and say, Professor Norman, I got an interview for an internship or a job at one of these local employers. So, the active learning classroom concept even now is spreading out into a service learning project we're really proud of. If you were to come today, you'll see we're going to discuss leadership. So rather than just go through slides talking about transformational versus transactional leadership, the students are going to think about somebody in their life who they really think is a hero or a personal leader. They're going to reflect quietly for a couple of minutes. Then in their table of 8 or 9, they're going to discuss what characteristics their ideal leader had with each other. And as a group, they'll then share with the class maybe those top 4 characteristics. And then we'll see at a class level how maybe those 10 tables all kind of come together in some common themes. Maybe it's authenticity, maybe it's integrity, maybe it's charisma. And we'll kind of work on those concepts so they're really embedded into their being, not just an answer to a multiple choice question. Another thing that we do in this class, we have flipped it in a sense that every week before we lecture or we work with a concept, by Sunday at 11:59 p.m. they've done a test. They've spent at least an hour on different online assignments through the McGraw-Hill Connect program. So my teaching assistant and I, we can get an indication of what areas they need some help on. So that can help me customize my lecture to skip what the majority of the class knows, and then I'll pick slides in those areas they're still struggling on to help them prepare for their final exam. Okay.